To minimize the chances of discord and to counteract what might seem like an imposition of a candidate, President Buhari advises the aspirants to scale down their numbers by reaching a consensus. And on Sunday night, the president meets with another set of party members, those described as the National Advisory Council. They include members of the National Working Committee, ministers and governors, amongst others. The president reiterates the confidence in the screened aspirants, but admits the large numbers come with its challenges, capable of costing the party.
Hello everyone and welcome to the political segment as we get to discuss what is developing or what is going on right now in the political sphere. Right now we are looking at the next president of Nigeria. We have Peter Obi still yet to decide among the list of aspirants they have. Please note, there has been news on the internet that quite a number of the aspirants themselves were disqualified. Please listen to the APC National Chairman himself.
No aspirant has been disqualified. I don't know how to handle this chief. People want to report that nobody, all the 23. Incidentally, the president of the government, Buhari, GCFR, has invited all of them 23 to dinner.
Now, as you heard that, all of them have different grade, but they have all been screened and are all eligible. And according to him as well, recently, the president himself invited them for a dinner hangout as they got to meet and him discussing with the members, or what I say, those that want to become the next president. Okay, so let's not get that particular information wrong. The only people you can get the information from correctly is from the party themselves. Okay, but I know that a lot of things flying out there. Now, talking about the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a lot of conversations has been going on around him, around his person, since he released the last statement that he made that went viral with regards to how he made Buhari who he is, and then a couple of other people, even the way he talked to the state governor of Ogun State. And talking about the state governor of Ogun State, the way he called him hey, God of mercy. But talking about the Ogun State governor, I don't know if any of you remember this video.
𝐲𝐨𝐿 is from there, Nobel laureate, President Obasanjo still living from there, 𝐻𝐭 is from there, and a host of others. So we have a very educated electorate.
And maybe that's the reason why some of the electorates are very critical about your education background. There's been a lot of issues about your certificates. Are you worried about that?
Well,
But did you finish from University of Ife?
I never claimed to have finished from University of Ife. I went to school, University of Ife, but I didn't graduate University of Ife. I do have a Bachelor of Business Administration degree in accounting. And I would like to stop at that.
Jesus. Your business administration degree, is it from Nigeria or from the United States?
This matter is in court.
No, because it will be good for a lot of the electors, yes. Millions of them who are watching right now who want to get clarity.
Yeah.
I mean, you owe that to the electorate, isn't it? I
do. And the electorate know that I went to school. They know that I went to school. They know that I went to school, and I have not misrepresented to anyone about my degrees.
What was your conversation? What did the president tell you on Friday? Is it confidential? It's taking you a lot of time.
No, I'm trying to be, because I
don't want to divulge what he told you.
I'm not sure that discussion between the president and I is meant to be discussed on channels politics.
Oh my God of mercy. Indeed, the leaders that are being imposed on us, or what I say, being handpicked for us by our dear respected Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, according to the APC chairman himself, he said that he doesn't think that the statements, or what I say, the retracting statements that, as it appears, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself had made after that, more of like, to mitigate the whole noise that has been going on social media, he doesn't see it to be more of like an apology. Listen to what he had to say.
This morning we saw some traces of withdrawal of those statements. You see, these are statements that are matched not just with intention, but with actual action. So, yes, we can't say we refuse not seeing on the papers, what was reported as he didn't say regret. It happened. He said he will not, that he has the greatest respect for the president, he has it in the country, but that's just, you see, in Hausa as a proverb. He said once you take hold of any amount of grass from a thatched roof and you pull it up from the roof, you can't put the same number of grass back into the roof. It will go. What is out is out. Right? And what he did say was not an apology. But I didn't do today, it was not an apology. It's just like trying to retract. He said, no, I didn't mean this. It was like a problem of interpretation. That's what it does. It's not a regret. He didn't show any apology for it. Yes.
Okay, now this becomes even more interesting. So talking about penalizing, anybody can be penalized. I think at this point right now, I think even though I made a video before saying justice for Tinubu and I discussed a couple of things, I think at this point right now, those who are working for him, or would I say, as he's going on with his own, of course I cannot advise the Jagaban himself, but I can just give a comment that looking at the way the situation is going right now, I think this is the point of really humbling yourself, and anybody can be humbled right now, because this is how the APC chairman himself is sounding. Not just to him, but to any other person that decides to, prove otherwise. I've been seeing people making commentaries on different news platforms, Arise News, TVC, Channels TV, that the candidate that they need, or would I say that should come, based on the fact that, APC themselves are supposed to produce someone that is from the south, is supposed to be, the obvious person that that is seen to be more of like longer head, or what I say, the direct competitor to Tinubu, which is 𝐲𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐿. But someone made a particular comment that actually went viral as well in support of Tinubu, where he called 𝐲𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻, or said 𝐲𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻 himself should actually be selling ice cream. Listen to this yourself.
So you think Tinubu is a name that sells?
Tinubu is the best person. We don't even have any option.
What about Osinbajo? Does the name sell? The VP?
Osinbajo is a good man. He's a nice man. But nice men do not make good leaders, because nice men tend to be nasty. Nice men should be selling popcorn, ice cream, and balabogologo. But he's a very decent person. I can't doubt that. And he's my personal friend, and I would rather not comment on his person, but he's a very decent man. That I can tell you.
Now, like we discussed in our previous video, we talked about the fact that one thing that is very important when it comes to the political race is the subject of popularity, and someone that has a brand. When you talk about branding, like you heard him mention, it's more of like the position you have in your or what I say, in the people's mind. If anybody thinks of Peter Obi, you are thinking of a visionary, someone that has a focus of what he wants to achieve, someone that is very principled, someone that knows exactly what he's doing, and is more of like looking to raise the youth themselves that can think for themselves and get to push Nigeria forward to the next level. If you think of someone like, let's say, 𝐲𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻, you know what to think of right there, okay? If you think of someone like Bola Tinubu, at least right now what people themselves are thinking is more of like him being the Jagaban as he is, and being the one that has really put people where they are, and now expects to be blessed also because he believes it's his turn. If you think of Atiku himself, of course, you know what it is to expect. If you look at all this right now, you can actually make an informed decision as to who you want to become the next president. But we have to get our PVC. See, social media, we can make all the noise on social media, like you will see me right now making noise, of course. But the fact is that how informed you are defines how transformed you can be. If you are not informed, you become deformed. Okay, so with all this information flying online, I can tell you for a fact, the main people that are doing the grassroots politics may not even know what is this Facebook. You are on Facebook now watching me, you're on YouTube watching me, but the main people themselves that actually do vote and all that may not even have access to all of these social media platforms to really get informed. It's just for them to go with their meal ticket, which is their PVC, and then they are being given some money. Look at the way did you hear when he said that politics itself is an industry? Listen to this again.
Well, I don't want to jump to wild conclusions, but by and large, I believe they must have done a thorough job. a just one. And in spite of the speculations in the social media, they have not released the names of those that were recommended for disqualification. But be that as it may, my own candidate, my own principal,
and who is that?
Must have done a thorough job, a just one. And in spite of the speculations in the social media, Senator, he was a two-time governor, and it's preposterous. It's a gratuitous insult for anyone to insinuate that he has been disqualified.
So they are saying that he may have been disqualified.
No, you know, when you are the front runner, you will be the subject of the most vitriolic of attacks. And if you keep on stopping to throw stones at every dog that barks, you will not reach your destination. We know where we are going. We are very confident of victory, inshallah, on Monday. And such issues do not distract us. We believe he is in the contest.
What we're hearing is that the party or the screening committee seems to want to give chance for younger folks. Does that in any way inhibit the chances of your principal?
I do not think so. Because age is a function of the mind. It's just a number. And there are some younger people that can perform abysmally low. My own principal has the experience, exposure, and a lucid mind to add value to the nation. And we are at a very critical conjuncture in the current annals of Nigerian history, buffeted by all sorts of challenges, be it security, be it economy. So a leader that we need, Sean, is a leader who understands the dynamics of running a modern economy. The world is a knowledge-driven world. We have moved from the agricultural age to the industrial age. Now we are in the post-industrial knowledge-driven age. And you need a Nigerian president who has been tested with excellent and competent leadership skills. And most importantly, with all these agitations for non-inclusion and separatist tendencies around the country, you need a leader who understands the Nigerian sociology. And we don't have a better person. Can anyone come out and dispute what he had said? Neither in what it gives.
About taking ownership of being responsible for President Buhari's ascension.
He played a very crucial role in the ascendancy of President Buhari. I was a foundational member of the APC. And those that suffer from memory amnesia may forget about the role of 𝐲𝐴Z𝐻 Tinubu in the ascendancy of President Muhammadu Buhari. If we can go down memory lane, you know, their relationship goes beyond 2015. It started quite earlier. They made an attempt at a marriage, even in 2011 election. But prior to the 2013 merger and subsequent presentation of Muhammadu Buhari, a foremost traditional ruler from northern Nigeria led his own team, went to 𝐲𝐴Z𝐻 in Lagos and told him, not in our name, it doesn't represent us. A group of retired generals equally approached 𝐲𝐴Z𝐻 and told him, not in our name, he is not our candidate. So also the northern establishment, a professor, led the team and disowned President Buhari. And to add insult to injury, the icing on the cake was a delegation from Katsina that disowned the president and said he is not their anointed candidate. He withstood all those pressures. And at the presidential primaries in Lagos, without the block vote from the southwest, Buhari couldn't have clinched that trophy. I was part of that.
There had also oozed a sense of entitlement, that he said that he has made Yoruba people proud and all of that, but now is the time of the Yoruba people, and he is a man for the job now. So those who have criticized that in itself as a sense of entitlement.
What is wrong with him demanding for the leadership? He has paid the price, and this is a man, when his other AD colleagues were blood drawn, were roasted by the wily old general from Ota, he had the wits, the wisdom to stood his ground. Not only that, sir, this is a man with a ferocious penchant of sacrificing his own good for the enthronement of democracy in this country. The Yorubas respect Obafemi Awolowo, not because he's an Ijebu man. No. They respected him not because he was a lawyer. They respected him because he was a transformational leader who invested heavily in infrastructure, in education. And Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is about the most successful politician from the Southwest ever seen. He has built men and institutions. So you cannot even call him best amongst equals. It's a gratuitous insult. The Minister of Works and Housing is his protege. He's one of the best performing ministers under the current system. Ahmed Lawan is my kinsman. He's my brother. And he holds me in the highest esteem. And I played a very prominent role in his emergence as the president of the Senate against my own kinsman, Mohamed Alindume. But leadership goes beyond sentiments. He has spent 20 years in the Senate, in the legislature. He has a PhD in geography. He had spent a stint in the academia before joining the political industry.
So when it comes to politics, it's an industry on its own. That is how these people say it. So Tinubu himself is seen as an experienced industrialist. Not like industrialist, but I mean industrial politician when it comes to politicking itself. Okay, so there's a lot of expectation on his person because of how involved he has been actively. So of course he talked about the whole idea of, you know, the APC being a merger of different other parties or something. So when you look at this right now and look at what he's facing right now in the party, it's very, very shaky. We don't know the next move that he's going to make. We don't know the next move the party is going to make. But if everything is on a level pegging without Buhari himself saying that I'm putting my hand up for this person, for a fact, if Buhari himself puts his hand up for somebody, majority are going to go for his option. So would it be a good advice to say that the president himself should not really do that and let the primaries go the way it's supposed to go without there being more of like a pusher for anyone? Because as you see for the PDP, it's not as if the current president is PDP to say that someone pushed Atiku, but they had to follow the political industry format, which Peter Obi had to leave because he still principled not to get involved in that, to do the whole money sharing and all that we all saw in the news. If you have not watched my previous video, you will not understand what I'm saying. So of course, when it comes to that themselves, the politicking itself, whether you like it or not, it involves money. And the comment that Dele Momodu himself made about Peter Obi wasn't quite settling for him, if you remember what he said. So for a fact, all these politicians themselves know that, you know, money is involved. Tinubu himself, of course, he has the money. We are still talking about the bullion van today. But talking about Tinubu and talking about money and his capacity, as many themselves believe that he has, this particular video that has went viral still even sounds more interesting each time I watch it. Where is his source? What can you say is his source of wealth? Now, this particular comparison between him and Peter Obi, I think is very clear when some people don't want to answer some questions or don't want some things to be discussed. But you see, when transparency is like this in the minds of the voters themselves, at least the intellectual ones that are on social media, you know, being informed like this, we can rightly make our decision as to who we want to vote for. Now, don't look at this more of like, okay, George is for this person, George is for this person. I present the facts to you, give you my analysis on what I think is going on right now, and then you also get to decide what it is that you believe or what you want to go for.
While the president has described the series of meetings as fruitful, the only way the party measures the success of these efforts, championed by him, is to have a rancor-free primary and win the election February next year. As the clock ticks and with a few hours left, before the APC presidential primary election holds in the nation's capital, Abuja. All eyes are now on the party's leadership to provide a level playing field, as some of the top contenders have rejected a consensus and insisted on an elective convention.
Elijah, send down fire, bless my altar.
Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun. One time. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀. Ó jẹ́ ènìyàn ló dúró mi wọ́n ti mọ̀ sí ẹ̀gún. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun. Ọlọ́run o. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀. Ó jẹ́ ènìyàn ló dúró mi wọ́n ti mọ̀ sí ẹ̀gún. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun. Ah! Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun. Ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀. Ó jẹ́ ènìyàn ló dúró mi wọ́n ti mọ̀ ṣe é. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun.